What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Main Event Podcast with me, your host, Raza. And joining me on the main event this week are none other than Imran and Arif. How are we doing today?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the self-appointed guest host is back, Imran.
And it's always great to be back with Raza and Imran as well. This is Arif.
Certainly been a while. Look, we're not going to get into all of that usual stuff, why we were off, why we weren't uploading. I think we've pretty much used up every excuse in the book. Let's not focus on all of that. Let's just say we've overcome some technical issues, which means hopefully we are able to publish something every single week. I don't blame anyone if they don't believe us, but I'll have to say it anyway. As always, you can listen to us on a number of platforms and outlets. We're still on Podomatic. You can download our content on iTunes. You can always listen in on YouTube as well. And now we're uploading back on Mixcloud as well as SoundCloud as well. So please take your pick from any of those. Any cloud you want. Any cloud you want.
Rain clouds, thunderstorms.
We'll be waiting. Take your pick from any of those, and the links will be provided as well, wherever you're listening. You can still keep in touch with us as well. You can follow us on Twitter at TME Podcast. You can like our Facebook page, that's back, the Main Event Podcast WWE, so like us there as well.
So that's changed slightly.
That's changed slightly. I just added WWE there just to make sure they know it's about the WWE.
Because people wouldn't have known.
Exactly. Unless you click on our page and you see the greatest announcing team in history as your cover, then you'll have a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always email us as well at tmepodcast@gmail.com. Arif will be there waiting to reply.
Still waiting for my first email.
and also, you can subscribe to us on our YouTube channel as well, the Main Event Podcast. Right, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this week's topics. I want to start with something that has been in the news a lot this week, and it still is. Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulk Hogan. I don't think I'm going to waste time telling everyone the backstory of what happened. We could be here for hours and hours talking about it. I want to ask both of you, what was your initial reaction when you heard the news? Not only of what happened, but when the WWE released him as well, when they completely made him disappear from WWE.com, no merchandise, nothing like that.
Well, I mean, Imran, if you don't mind, I'll just do a really quick overview because Raza obviously doesn't want to go into the details of it.
Worth my time.
Yeah, I think that will be sensible, Arif.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lie detector test. Hulk Hogan was obviously Mr. America. We knew this. The crowd knew this, but Vince McMahon didn't know this, or maybe he just didn't believe it. They had a lie detector. He passed the lie detector somehow, but then he pulled up his mask halfway through a SmackDown and showed himself to be Hulk Hogan. And I think that's the reason why 8 years ago it's all just come about now. I think Vince probably watched the product again, watched the footage, and fell over in his chair. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Imran.
What?
This is why you got fired, right?
Well, I mean,
this is why you should be fired.
That was like, I heard that was the main reason, but there was just some silly little thing he did, just small, about racist comment, something like that.
I would like to make a joke here, but the fact that he had such a racist rant, that's nothing to joke about. It's like...
It's unacceptable, isn't it, really?
It is. It is unacceptable.
The fact of the situation, though, he was surrounded by people of that colour at the time. He was supposedly taking the interview off the cuff, and it wasn't supposed to be leaked. So that's two. Thirdly, there have been other wrestlers in the WWE, currently and formerly, who get treated better than Hulk Hogan, despite racist rants in the past. I'm talking about people like The Warrior. He's got an award named after him now. Booker T said a couple of things once in a while, and I think it's a shame that because it was 8 years ago, I'm not condoning at all what Hulk Hogan did, but it was 8 years ago. It wasn't supposed to be made public. It should have just been apologized for, and then maybe possibly swept under the rug in the future. And maybe that's something that WWE are going to do. Maybe they'll bring him back eventually. I don't see it happening.
No, I do.
They've destroyed everything.
I do see them bringing him back later on, possibly when he's like on his, I don't know, deathbed maybe. But I think because of all that's happening in America right now, there are some issues going on with with racial tension, shall we say. So I think this situation just played into the Hulk Hogan situation, and that's why WWE needs to make a stand because of, the past year we had Alberto leaving because of racial abused.
That was silly as well, though.
I said he was a victim there as well.
So I don't know. It's like a statement from WWE from them right now.
Yeah, so in a way, they're just putting the foot down on any sort of racism, no tolerance.
Yeah, I mean, to do it to Hulk Hogan, who's just come back.
Oh, and it's Hulk Hogan as well.
Immortal Hulk Hogan as well.
Some say that he's the John Cena of the last generation.
Okay, well, let me ask you guys, just three things. One, is it fair for the WWE to react how they did when their chairman once used a particular word as well?
Oh. He said it to John Cena as well.
Exactly.
John Cena's everywhere.
As well as that, as I said, it was a private conversation. Do you think that's any excuse?
What's up,
Yeah, we don't need to actually quote what Vince said.
No, but here's the thing. What Vince said was, as playing a character, was on TV for storyline purposes. It wasn't there. It wasn't his reality, basically.
Okay, that
changes things.
I think the context was different as well. I think the way Hulk Hogan said it, apparently, allegedly, was very, very much to get under the skin of those people, and he was showing distaste and disdain to these people as well. And I think that's what the problem
absolutely.
is. It's the context.
Do you think? Okay, my point is now. Do you think the WWE reacted fairly, as in not just relieved him of his duties? They've got rid of every inkling of him. So the only place you will see him now is the WWE Network. He's not going to be promoted. There's no Hogan merchandise, which is popular.
Well,
nothing like that.
Well, one of my closest friends, actually, it was Raza. He had a search of the TNA website as well, they did the same thing. They just got rid of him everywhere, and apparently it's Hogan's beat shop that's distancing themselves from him, and also his ex-wife Linda. So it's a lot of. It's not just WWE right now. It seems to be everybody.
Arif, is it fair?
It's fair enough because of the current situation, as Imran mentioned, in the US and things like that. But I can't help but feel sorry for him.
What would you have done if you were Vince then? If the exact same thing happened, you've uncovered this racial tirade.
I would have. He got the Chris Benoit treatment. Let's not beat around the bush. He got the Chris Benoit treatment. He's been wiped from everything apart from the network, and even then, it'll probably have a disclaimer before his appearances where it says that WWE does not condone these actions or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think if I was Vince, I would be possibly doing the same thing, but then also privately saying to Hulk that
you understand,
yeah, exactly. Well, if anyone understands, it's probably going to be Vince.
Yeah.
Because they've never had a black WWE champion. Let's be honest. I mean, everyone says The Rock is, but he wasn't billed as being black though.
Yeah.
So
as in he's famous for the Samoan heritage.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if anyone understands, it's probably Vince.
Yeah. There was one interesting thing as well. Obviously, a big piece of news that was overshadowed by Hulk.
Pizza news.
Piece of news.
Oh, sorry.
It was obviously WWE 2K.
Imran, I thought we were getting free pizza.
No, not today.
I know.
Not today. Not celebrating anything today.
We haven't eaten in 8 months.
Maybe at the end of this podcast if you behave. A big piece of news. WWE 2K, they've released their next set of superstars. Obviously, Triple H, The Rock, Andre the Giant, Alexa Bliss, Eva Marie have been announced. One of the names that was announced for the video game was Hulk Hogan, and they have confirmed that WWE have asked them to drop him from the video game, which means
surprise,
no longer in WWE 2K16, which is boasting the largest roster ever. I mean, if Eva Marie's
now that roster's cut in half because they've got rid of Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Captain America, Mr. America. That's really Hulk Hogan, by the way. They've got rid of WrestleMania 3 Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18 Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 29 Hulk Hogan with the Silverdome, Superdome brother. That's all he says. They've got rid of all these characters. There's half the roster gone.
Axelmania Hulk Hogan.
Exactly, Axelmania. Well, I mean, obviously, this past week they've had to change a lot of things. Axelmania has been dropped. He's got new attire. Damien Sandow's dropped. Macho Mandow as well, and they're teaming up. I mean, it really shows that we are putting their foot down with this because
Axelmania should now become Mr. Adequate because of his
Mr.
Oh,
Adequate.
it's perfect. See what I did there?
He had to shave off his glorious beard as well because he made the mustache from it, and now he has to take that off as well.
Well, Reza, when it comes crashing down, it hurts inside.
I understand.
You got to shave your beard.
And as I was saying, it obviously shows that WWE are putting their foot down with this. Another thing that obviously is worrying, I don't want to say it's worrying, they probably have got a plan B and a plan C, is Hogan's involvement on Tough Enough. He is a judge alongside Daniel Bryan and
Was
a judge. He's been removed from the Tough Enough page as well, so currently we have 2 judges. Obviously we're going to get a 3rd judge, aren't we, on Tough Enough?
Well, here's the thing. Tough Enough has feels like 14 different judges or hosts or whatever. It's absolutely packed and loaded. For me, if they don't replace him, if they replace him by Jericho, who's on the show, or if they replace him by Booker T, who's on the show,
I
would prefer that.
I think a trainer does need to be on that part because they get no say whatsoever. They're spending a lot of time with the competitors, the hopefuls, and they get no say in who's in the bottom 3 or who should stay and who should go, which is a shame. Arif, what do you think? Who will, if they do, who will they replace Hogan with, or who should they replace him?
I think we were discussing previously the idea that Ric Flair was possibly the name being touted as the next Tough Enough host, or Tough Enough judge, sorry.
Yeah.
I think the best way for WWE to deal with this is for Jericho to be the next. Yeah. It's frustrating because then The Miz will become the host, and then he's obviously the host of Tough Talk as well. I mean, Tough Enough in itself is a joke, so I wouldn't mind if they just scrapped it all right now and just gave Patrick the contract that he solely deserves.
So do all 3 of us agree Patrick Clark Jr. should have been the winner?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah, by far. That was a travesty.
Look at the fact, like you said, the judges don't see the week by week or the day by day activities of these let's call them performers or participants. The trainers are the ones that spend every single day with them, and then it goes to 3 judges who, so there's Daniel Bryan, great wrestler, but again, he only sees an hour of them. Hulk Hogan, formerly, great entertainer, but only sees an hour of them. And then there's Paige, forget her, but she only sees an hour of them. And then they make a judgment call on the silliest little things, like one comment. For example, Patrick last week was put in the final 3 because he didn't show humility.
It's confusing, to say the least.
But then he's always called Hulk Hogan sir. He's always been very respectful to the judges and the trainers. It's only amongst his peers, amongst his competitors, that he's showing this side.
He is very well spoken, even amongst fellow competitors. He's never really cussed out or anything. Mm-hmm. He's always being very well spoken. Obviously, you get frustrated, like we saw with ZZ.
But then even that was
I love that.
ZZ's benefit.
Exactly.
It was, and he just showed his passion for this company, not this company, but for this industry, which none of those other competitors have. And let's be honest, he's talented in the ring.
I think the advantage we do have is he's 19. Which means he's got a lot of time ahead of him.
Oh, I don't doubt that we'll see him in a WWE ring very
exactly. What do you think is beneficial for him then? Is it once Tough Enough finishes? Because I think there will be a lot said if he's offered a contract now. Let's say Tough Enough finishes, months pass. Do you think it's better if he takes a potential developmental deal, or he goes onto the independent scene?
Well, saying that, he actually has been taking bookings for the independent scene, and that's the best way for him to go. Because, as you said, he's only 19. Learn the trade, as others like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan have for years.
You don't want to be 30-something coming to the WWE.
No, he won't be 30-something.
That's not a bad thing, though, Reza. Look at history has shown us that coming into the WWE at 30 is great. It's a great opportunity. Look at Kevin Owens. He's just come through. He's 31, 32.
Well, look at Finn Balor. He's 34 now.
Well, there you go. But he's the next big star.
Will he be the big star on the main roster?
34.
Yeah, but give him a year and he'll be on the main roster.
Okay, interesting.
There you go.
Yeah, but I'm sure everyone's discussed, their potential of being the guy in the WWE. Let's not get into the NXT discussion yet. So we're gonna be here for so long.
Yeah, who do you two think is gonna replace Hulk Hogan then as the judge? Give me one definite name.
I think that's difficult because
Chris Jericho.
What is that? Who you want? Is that who you want or who you think's going to be?
No, that's who I think it'll be. I really think it'll be Chris Jericho, and I think you'll get Renee because he doesn't do anything at the moment. He doesn't do anything at the moment.
I think
he introduces the segment, but then Renee Young can do that by herself.
As much as I'd like to see Jericho, I think they're going to replace a legend with a legend.
No, but they don't need to.
But that's their way of thinking. You know, they've promoted, you know, one of the most popular divas right now, one of the most popular superstars right now, and obviously a legend.
Don't get me started on Paige.
I know. I think it's going to be Ric Flair. But one thing I did want to talk about were the judges. Brian's playing the goody two-shoes kind of guy. Do you think that's the right way for him?
Well, that's him.
Yeah.
That's him. Nothing else but that.
Yeah. Now, my point is Paige putting this act on of being ruthless?
And she's doing it terribly. She's trying to be Simon Cowell, but she's doing it terribly.
I don't think she is, I think she's actually just that mean. That's because it just seems like she's just really bitter and she just hates the fact that 90% of these people don't want to be in the WWE. They're just here for it's what it seems like a payday. Apart from Marta. Marta seems like the only legit one now.
Her outbursts are so fake and forced, and she's just putting it on for the show, really. And honestly, I think the way to go about the judges is to have Paige replaced by Lita, Jericho on the show, and then have one legend like a Ric Flair or like a Bret Hart, who's apparently in discussions. But
I do think the trainer should have more of a say. But just final few points before we move on.
Bret Hart would be terrible as a judge.
I agree. I didn't want to say anything, but
just be stay quiet,
water on the bridge now.
Will Hogan be missed?
Bitter about it.
Very quickly, will Hogan be missed on Tough Enough?
No.
And finally, who do we see as the winners, male and female?
Honestly,
I think Gigi's got this in the bag. Let's be honest.
I hate ZZ.
Not ZZ, Gigi, the Georgia.
Oh, yeah, but I think the way, I don't know who said this recently, last week actually, that the show's designed for you to fall for the underdogs. So you've got ZZ and you've got Sarah Lee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's who's going to win. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at ZZ. He's in the bottom three. Okay, he's got the personality.
Consistently in the bottom three.
Yeah, I mean, he's awful on promos, awful in the ring, awful athletically, awful looking-wise. Yeah, he's always there. I mean,
but he wrestles gators. They're my family. They're my people.
That's pretty accurate. Well done.
Thank you.
Pretty accurate.
I've been practicing that all month. And Sarah Lee as well. Sarah Lee, just to add to your point, Imran, Sarah Lee is pretty much the female version of ZZ. She was terrible on the mic for 4 out of the 5 weeks.
Saying that though,
5th week,
she's improving.
She's improving, but that's not after 5 weeks, though.
Yeah.
It's not good enough to be in the WWE. Unfortunately, she's not as strong as, like you said, Gigi.
I think,
for example, her competition is too strong, and a number of the divas that have left, female participants that have left, were stronger than Sarah Lee. Sarah Lee doesn't deserve to be there, just like ZZ doesn't deserve to be there. Patrick deserves to still be there. Unfortunately,
Dario deserves to be there over Sarah.
Yeah, there you go, exactly. But it's a popularity contest, and because
it's a shame,
because the judges aren't people that spend time with these participants day by day. They're not seeing the things that we're seeing. They're seeing a very limited picture. I don't know. And then opening it up to the public vote, I think, is a big mistake as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably a massive mistake to do, leaving it in our hands. Just again, quickly, just before we move on, I don't know if I got your answers. Arif, who do you think is going to win? I'm guessing you're going to go with ZZ.
I want Marta to win now. I think Marta.
He's shown a lot of improvement, hasn't he?
It shows that he wants this. Marta or Seth Rollins. Right? Who's Seth Rollins?
Tanner,
yes, Tanner. I wouldn't mind seeing Tanner win it because I think he is just missing the promo side. I think everything else he could do.
He's got a really good look about him.
Well, he's done MMA, so
exactly.
and he does CrossFit. He's basically Seth Rollins.
He's just stunt double now.
We could get rid of Seth Rollins and replace him with Tanner. Because remember how bad Seth Rollins was on the mic when he first started?
Oh, yes.
He's practically Stephanie McMahon.
Steph Rollins.
Steph Rollins.
Female winners, I'm guessing we think Gigi is deserving right now, but it probably will be Sarah Lee.
It's the best of a bad bunch still, but yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Please let us know what you think on the whole...
Did I have my prediction?
Oh, yeah, you're still here. Go on, man.
Yeah, Mohammed Hassan Mark II.
Fair enough.
Imagine if he wins this $250,000 contract, and he comes out on Raw with Davari as his manager.
Yeah.
And which?
Imagine, it will be such a waste.
Which female do you think is going to get the contract?
I think it's going to be Sarah Lee.
Mohammed Hassan wasn't even Arabic; he was Italian.
Oh God, let's not go back down there again.
Italian.
Please let us know what you think on the whole Hogan situation without taking it out of hand in the comments, as well as Tough Enough.
Mr. America.
Who you think is going to win Tough Enough as well. Talking of divas and the female competitors, let's move on to our next topic. Interesting is the current state of the divas division right now. Obviously, a few weeks ago we saw something pretty spectacular when Stephanie McMahon introduced.
Was it though?
I think it was. I think we needed a change because I'm pretty bored of seeing the current divas.
Imran, you'll be able to attest to this more than I will, but Lucha Underground, for example, the divas division on there. Well, that's not even a divas division, is it?
It's not. It's just one division. They you talk about playing on equal playing fields. Lucha Underground does it better than anybody else. They're wrestling men.
Doesn't that... Obviously, we're not going to get that in the WWE. There's that fine line between you got divas wrestlers and your male wrestlers. Even in mixed tag team matches, you can't have women fighting men. But don't you think the women in Lucha Underground, for example, show every single week why they deserve to be there?
Yeah, I mean, you've got... Well, that's the thing. Sexy Star, she's a proven wrestler. She's been there. Well, she's been all over Mexico. Really, she's not exactly. She's been given the opportunities the divas haven't in WWE.
Now compare that to Nikki Bella.
Well, Nikki Bella's been given the opportunities to be a model.
Yeah,
more than anything else.
And Brie.
Charlotte, on the other hand. Sasha Banks, on the other hand.
Sasha Banks.
All wrestlers.
Ooh. Becky Lynch.
That's why I'm excited.
Becky Lynch, what a journey she's had to get here.
Oh, absolutely. She's like. Let's be honest. She's the Finn Balor.
Well, exactly, yeah.
But let's talk about Sasha Banks again.
We'll calm down. We'll get back to Sasha.
In love with Sasha Banks.
Don't worry. The current state of the
Snoop Doggy Dog's gonna be so happy though.
Do you think this is what we needed right now? Do you think this is what we needed right now? 3 up-and-coming divas mixed in with the main roster divas.
So,
they've got people talking, let's be honest.
Yeah. So I would have booked this slightly differently, and I think this is my only gripe with it. I think the teams that they could have put together should have been slightly different. I think it would have made more sense if you had... Okay, so Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Paige, that's fine. If we originally just had the Bellas together, and then Paige is trying to take on the Bellas, and we kept getting twin magic. Paige gets frustrated. She goes to NXT and she recruits Charlotte and Becky Lynch, but then it ends up being 3-on-2. Then I think you've got the Tamina, Naomi, and Alicia Fox group, and you could bring them in potentially as well, or you could leave them out completely, and then just bring in Sasha Banks as a heel, as a definitive heel on the Bella side. And I think that would have worked better. I think 3 versus 3 would have worked better than having all 9.
You can't have the NXT Divas champion aligning with the Divas champion.
Why not? If they have a mutually, if they have a mutual, like Sasha Banks hates Charlotte, for example, so she joins and she agrees with the Bellas, and she thinks that the Bellas are.
I don't know. I think
don't know.
that'll make that team too combustible. It'll be just something ready to kind of explode. Do you get?
Then that's a good thing though, because then we get potential great matches with Sasha Banks versus Nikki Bella in the future.
See, the only problem I have, well, I've got a couple of problems with the Divas Revolution.
I think in general, just problems, but carry on.
Yeah, just in general. One is that the Divas have lost their individuality.
Yeah.
Because in NXT, that's what they shined as, being individual wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost that in this. It's about teams.
Well,
Team
wouldn't you
Sasha,
say?
Team Bella.
Wouldn't you say it's easy for them to transition into the spotlight, being with the divas who have been there for a while, rather than throwing them in at the deep end? I know some can handle it, like Paige did.
You talk about Becky Lynch. You talk about Charlotte, who's been born and bred.
Yeah, but I do think there's a difference. I do think there's a difference of throwing them in at the deep end on NXT, where you've got a handful of fans there, compared to a lively crowd live on Monday Night Raw.
No, I think what Rosa's trying to get at is the idea that you're only ever going to have one Divas match on a pay-per-view.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you're only ever going to have possibly more, but potentially two Divas wrestling, so a 1v1 match for a title.
The thing though is, guys, you look at the way the Divas Revolution happens. Stephanie McMahon comes out, hypes up that women's are coming to the forefront, but doesn't it feel a bit like if WWE's missed the mark, sort of thing? Like, because it's a bit late for this. As in, they could have done it a long time ago. Now it feels like they're kind of following in the USA women's footsteps. They're seeing what UFC's done with their women, with Ronda Rousey. Even with Serena Williams. It feels a bit forced. Like WWE should have done this a long time ago.
Why not capitalize on it? Why not capitalize on it? It's not losing out on anything. You're getting your top female athletes out there as well to be talked about alongside the likes of Serena and everyone.
And these women are supposed to be at the forefront. I mean, you've got guys like women
guys like Natalia. Yeah,
could be a guy.
Never. Yeah, why is Natalia not in this?
Exactly.
Oh, Tyson Kidd. That's fair enough, actually. Because Tyson Kidd's out for like a year.
Sad news.
Must be with her husband. That's fair enough.
I actually forgot about that.
I mean, why not? Why not capitalize? I mean, like, so what if it's late? WWE are known for doing things early, right? Remember Tout?
Yeah.
Oh God.
What?
Remember Tout?
Oh yeah, I signed up for that.
Remember Tout? That was good, right?
Force down our throats every single week.
Yep.
Wow. Anyway, continue on.
No, so that was the point. Yeah, I just wanted to throw out Tout.
Touts.
We have a Tout page.
No, we do not have a Tout page.
We have a Tout page. It's the main event podcast, tout.com /
where we forward everything that the WWE superstars post.
Yep, that's all we do.
So let's get back.
Practically a middleman.
Let's get back on track here. Divas division. Who do you think, if you had to name top three, who in this 3-team feud, who have been the 3 weakest divas? You don't have to be on the same team.
Well, we haven't seen anything from Becky Lynch so far, I guess.
Natalia. Yeah, then again, Becky Lynch is apparently injured, isn't she?
I heard she was, but
she's Irish.
Yeah, exactly. She's fine. I would say
irony.
Alicia Fox and Tamina for me are they're either wasted or not needed in this whole feud.
But then I agree. You could even get rid of Naomi, and that's exactly my point. You could and then put Sasha Banks with the Divas champion and
exactly. When you put it that way, I agree with Arif.
This completely. Is why it makes no sense to me. You have John Cena on one side, Daniel Bryan, and then you get Sasha Banks.
Guys, I've still got my hand up. Tamina. Does she even exist?
Who's that? Oh, you mean Jimmy Superfly Snuka?
Yeah.
That's
it. Exactly. Yeah, him.
We should only refer to them by their partners.
Okay.
By the partners?
So Naomi's going out with Jimmy Uso or Jey Uso?
There's only one now, isn't there? I was proven on SmackDown on the commentary team.
See, this is what I mean. Why? Why are they not having that Uso wrestle and then the injured Uso on commentary?
Yeah,
it makes no sense to me.
But it's just...
Give him a job.
It's bonkers, actually.
That's right, Oos. That's all he says.
I'm guessing the one on commentary, who's on commentary, his wife is Naomi. Is it? He's done a very good job of not, talking about her during the Divas match that we saw this past week.
Reza, he does a good job of just not talking.
That's right. That's his one-liner.
Yeah.
That's what he
That's
does.
right, Oos.
What do we think?
My daddy Rikishi.
Where do we think this three-way feud is headed? I'm guessing
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, yeah. We'll get into that a bit more. But do you think this is a way of keeping the title on Nikki as well? Because
300 days. Hashtag 300 days.
How long has she got left now, anyway?
Like 50, 60 days.
And that's pretty much a guarantee she will overtake AJ Lee.
Mrs. Punk, yes.
Punk.
Mrs. Cena.
Mrs. Cena's going to overtake Mrs. Punk.
Oh my god. Another way Punk is being buried. See?
He's not even here, he's being buried. Come on.
Black helicopters.
So I'm guessing you think this is going to head to a match at SummerSlam?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure we'll get into predictions later.
The thing I like about the Divas Revolution is that it has opened a lot of possibilities. So I'm looking forward to that, and also the fact that on Raw we actually had 2 Divas matches.
Yes.
So
but
much.
That's not going to be. It's not going to be a regular occurrence.
Exactly.
No, I hope it is, because the match was actually okay. It was good for Divas.
I understand why they did it, but once this whole fandom dies down of NXT Divas being there, we'll go back to our usual one match.
I don't know, because I disagree there, because the Divas that we had previously were models. That's why we hated watching them, but the Divas that we have now are genuine wrestlers. They're not models at all.
To that point, I don't fast forward through Divas matches anymore, so yeah, I'd agree there.
There you go.
Out of the 3 Divas that come on, just last point before we move on. Out of the 3 Divas that have come up...
You're very fixated on Divas, Rosa.
Divas.
Can't help it. Who
is your favourite, actually, Reza? Like, before you even
my favourite? I think you're going to kill me when I say Sasha Banks.
No, you can't choose Sasha. I've chosen Sasha.
I've chosen Sasha.
What?
What are you doing, man? What the hell?
She's amazing. Okay, I've chosen Becky Lynch then.
Really? To be fair, her match with Sasha Banks at NXT TakeOver, the
Unstoppable
Attitude Era, whatever it was called, that was awesome. That was really, really good. I just lost.
I just wanted to ask, let's just assume these 3 Divas are going to stay on the main roster. I know they probably will go back down to NXT. They're still on the main roster now. They're going to have their matches, their feuds. Out of Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte, taking any support you have for them out the window, Arif, who do you think would become the Divas champion first? Slash the most successful / entertaining champion.
Oh, well, then it's got to be Sasha Banks.
You think?
Like, if you including entertainment and things like that, I think Charlotte will become the Divas champion first. But
is that based on who her father is?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think obviously she seems like one of the most talented ones.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. You can't say that out, can you?
But she's like 7 foot tall. She's freakishly tall. Imran, is she actually that tall? You're the facts guy.
Did you see her on NXT?
But she is ridiculously talented.
And the ring is smaller in NXT as well, right? Because it's a smaller thing. So like she's like ridiculously tall. How tall is she?
Like
8'3", 8'4".
Whoa!
It just changes every week.
1-on-1 with the Undertaker. That's what we need when she gets into matches.
Imran, same question to you. Out of the 3, who do you think will be the best champion and the first?
The best champion is by far going to be Sasha Banks.
Okay.
I'm guessing so much Charlotte, but
I'm guessing you're going to say Charlotte's the first.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
I don't get what's up with our reactions. It's good. She's a great diva.
Yeah, I think if she'd come up by herself, we'd be a lot more excited about her. I think because we've got the other divas there, so we've got Charlotte and Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, like potential great superstars. I think we want Sasha Banks to be. The
WWE do want us to forget Charlotte has had a match on Raw with Natalya, and she lost.
See.
She lost, exactly.
So,
I can't wait till Bailey gets brought up. You know she's a hugger.
She is.
And she has the happiest music in the world.
Her entrance is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think Bailey's going to be another mid-card diva.
The thing for her is, once the three divas have moved up, she's got to carry NXT with Eva Marie. So, yeah.
Oh, she's quite good now.
Pardon?
She does a sliced bread number 2.
Is she called the Kendrick? That's a good name for a finisher.
Yeah, as in what she's been training with Brian Kendrick,
exactly.
which is respectful. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you watch, just very quickly, did you watch NXT this week, and in particular Eva Marie's match?
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things from you.
Put it this way, when you compare her to what she's shown in the ring, there's a massive improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's still rough around the edges.
That's expected, though, isn't it?
But you can see the heart.
Yeah. As I've said, respect to her for giving it a go and not just being a face for the media and everything. That's So yeah, please let us know what you think. Pardon?
Very nice face, though.
Very nice. Please let us know what you think of the current state of the Divas division as well. Certainly exciting times. Let us know if you love Sasha Banks more than ever as well. I don't think that's possible. Moving on to another big talking point this past week. I think this became more of a talking point during Monday Night Raw, where we saw this big brawl between The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar.
I'm going to kill you! You're going to have to!
Yeah, that's actually not my point. My point is we saw a certain superstar involved
R-Truth.
In that brawl. We saw
R-Truth?
Kevin Owens involved in that brawl, which leads many to believe he's now been demoted to mid-card. I say mid-card, he's probably on the same level as, Ziggler and Cesaro. So borderline mid-card / main event. What do we think? He's had great feud with John Cena. Fantastic. Some of the best matches we've seen in the year. By far. What do you make of the news that he is now a mid-carder?
Well, I think the standard John Cena effect taking place where they've got close to John Cena, got close to beating him, and he's just got burned. And he's you're like, I don't.
Well, I mean, is it John Cena?
List of superstars that it's happened to. They get close to Cena, they get our hopes up.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the end of their careers, really.
No, you can't. That's not true.
No.
Why isn't it? Look at
who's that to?
Like, you got who faced John Cena at WrestleMania?
You're going to say Bray Wyatt and Rusev?
Well, 3 times, sorry.
Bray Wyatt just faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but the thing...
in one of the biggest matches of his career.
Wouldn't you say Rusev and Wyatt, the characters, are more limited than Kevin Owens?
This is the thing, though. They're all heels, and ultimately, in the WWE, which is a scripted television show, the heels lose eventually to the faces. That's the point. You go, and the kids go away happy.
But here's the point, though. They've lost in such a way that they're that momentum's been completely wiped out.
No, it's not.
I think that's what everyone's frustrated about. It's not that Kevin Owens lost. We knew that was going to happen. It's the manner in which he lost. He could have been made to look stronger by being victim of the attitude adjustment off the top rope.
He kicked out of it.
Yeah, but then submitting to the STF really...
And then doing nothing on Raw.
Exactly.
He super kicked Rusev.
He had no talking point. He didn't do anything major at all.
I think this is just a typical situation of WWE fans wanting Kevin Owens to be more than he is when he's just come to the main roster, when he beat Cena in his first match.
Clean as well.
Exactly, clean.
No, it's not just that. It's not. I'm not talking about the fallout now. It's the fact that Kevin Owens won't recover from this. He has been demoted. The future for him isn't as bright as it could have been.
I disagree.
There was something online, rumours, but many people believe to be a fact, is a man called Kevin Dunn, apparently Vince's right-hand man, is the reason for Kevin Owens being demoted. I think the same happened last year when Paige came up, Bo Dallas came up, Adam Rose came up. Apparently he doesn't want NXT stars to do well, because obviously, they're Triple H's projects, and he thinks the better they do, the better Triple H looks, the more of a chance Triple H has of taking over and Kevin Dunn is out of a job. Do you think that's fair?
Well, let's be honest, WWE has a lot of backstage politics.
Yeah.
It always has, it always will. So I'm not surprised about that.
I think that's moving away from the main point, which is that Kevin Owens, I don't think,
no, I mean,
has been ruined, which is, I guess, the idea that
No, I think I do think he's been systematically ruined.
No, as in,
it's
being said Kevin Dunn is the reason Owens lost. He got it booked, I heard, or read, Owens to lose to Cena in that fashion as well.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, look at history. So if we look at, the John Cena treatment, the victims of it have been Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt lost to Cena multiple times after WrestleMania as well, and then went on to face The Undertaker at this WrestleMania. He's still young. He's still a potential WWE champion for the future, but he's a heel. So ultimately, he's going to lose these big matches, okay? Rusev, same sort of treatment. He came out on a tank at WrestleMania. He got one of the best entrances that the WWE has ever done for a superstar. Yes, he lost to Cena a couple of times, and now he's on that recovery period, and I would see him as a main eventer in a couple of years. These people are still young. Kevin Owens has just been promoted to the main roster. He beat the face of the company in his first match. Yes, he lost, but after 3 attitude adjustments, 1 off the top rope, and he eventually had to tap out after being destroyed in that match. Because of John Cena, but we don't know where they're going to go with him right now. Let him go into a couple of mid-card feuds, and then he could be potentially the next WWE champion in a couple of years as well.
I do think it's wrong to blame
Let's go back onto the list. Bray Wyatt, at the time...
It's too early, guys, to judge that he's been ruined, because he hasn't. He's a heel. Heels lose.
He's not been ruined. I agree with that. If he's not been ruined.
Listen to this, though.
How many people can say your first main card feud was with John Cena?
Carlito.
No, but
John Cena wasn't really...
It's not about saying your first feud is Bray Wyatt. Look at Bray Wyatt. At the time, he was the hottest heel. He could have gone on to be even more hotter. You got to admit, he was the hottest heel. What has he done since, apart from The Undertaker? What has he done since?
Well, apart from The Undertaker is the biggest superstar in the WWE.
Yeah, I think if you get a WrestleMania match with Undertaker...
Bray Wyatt, gimmick.
It wasn't with immortality. After Brock Lesnar... After Brock Lesnar faced The Undertaker, for Bray Wyatt to be in that spot, he lost, but...
Yeah, but that was because the gimmick was perfect for him to face. But here's the thing, he was the hottest heel at that time. Going back to that Russian as well, what's the Russian called? I forgot his name. Lana. Yeah,
going back to Lana.
The hottest heel at the time. Heck, let's go even further. Dolph Ziggler, hottest heel at the time. Wade Barrett, hottest heel at the time. We had a WWE champion called The Miz. He was quite hot at the time.
He pinned Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah. No, but after that, as soon as he lost, after that and kept on losing, nobody recovered after that.
Yeah, but you can't keep winning either. That's just...
No. But here's my point. Nobody recovered. It's not about getting the win over Cena. It's about where you go from there.
So
you didn't go anywhere from there.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens has done nothing major to recover from. He's had 1 feud and he's lost. He can recover from this.
No, but here's my point. All that momentum has been lost. All that hype, that build-up that they had of him being the hot heel has been lost. As you said, they put him in the Brock Lesnar, Undertaker brawl. You know, he's part of that pack now.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can say it's unfair because he's just come to the main roster. People have been working hard, and to throw him into the main event and keep him there, as talented as he is it fair on the people who work harder than Kevin Owens to get where they are?
Well, if he wrestles better, is it fair to have John Cena there like all the time?
You need him there, whether you like it.
It's not about being the best wrestler; it's about being the best entertainer. And he's a heel.
But the fans boo him out the arena.
Exactly, because he's a heel.
John Cena's a heel.
No, Kevin Owens. No, but John Cena's self-merged. John Cena is cheered by all the kids. That's why John Cena.
But everybody else, there's arenas where he gets booed out of the arena. Is it fair to have him in the arena then at that time?
So then Cena lost to Kevin Owens in the first match, and they reported drops in sales for merch for John Cena.
That speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm. it's more financially viable, and I'm sure Kevin Owens doesn't mind. It's more financially viable for John Cena to win, especially in that fashion where Kevin Owens still looks strong, as much as we're saying that he looks weak because he tapped out. He tapped out after taking 3 of the most hellacious attitude adjustments that we've seen, especially one off the top rope, and after being in an amazing match with John Cena at the Battleground. I think it makes him look really strong. And I think it makes his character look really strong as well. That he was able to go toe-to-toe with John Cena 3 times, beat him once, and narrowly lose out to him twice.
I think, regardless of what Kevin Owens personally thinks of John Cena, if you told Kevin Owens you're going to debut on Monday Night Raw, you're going to have people screaming your name, you're going to go and pick up a win over John Cena, and then you're going to lose 2 matches, I think he'd take that with both hands.
Yep, just as Wade Barrett did.
I think Wade Barrett's a different situation, though.
Wade Barrett made a name for himself alongside 6 other men.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't the massive...
that's just... Wade Barrett's just a sad example of someone that just...
But
Wade Barrett... Okay,
that's
so for every Wade Barrett, there's been a Bray Wyatt.
Gonna be.
For every Wade Barrett, there's been a Bray Wyatt, though.
Yeah, come on. What's
wrong with Bray Wyatt?
They reformed the Wyatt after a whole year to get him back on track.
Bray Wyatt faced the biggest WWE superstar in history at WrestleMania, in the biggest WrestleMania that we've had so far.
No, that was because of the gimmick, though. The gimmick was just right at
the gimmick that he lives. The gimmick that he lives. That's his gimmick.
At that point, he had no other momentum going. He wasn't hot, but it just so happened that he was the right person at the right time for the right superstar. Undertaker. That was all.
But then
it wasn't because he was the hottest thing. It wasn't because he earned the shots to face Undertaker and everybody else.
If he'd beaten John Cena, would he have earned the shot to face the Undertaker?
What was that? Sorry.
If he'd beaten John Cena, would he have earned the shot to face the Undertaker? Is John Cena the gatekeeper?
Yeah. Obviously, if he beat John Cena, he would have more than been.
Yeah, look what John Cena's done. He's never got the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but does he need the Undertaker at WrestleMania?
Yeah, having the Undertaker have the Undertaker as an opponent at WrestleMania is kind of a big deal in itself.
No, but here's the thing though. With the hot faces, it's always the heels challenging the faces, right, at WrestleMania. So it's always the Bray Wyatts challenging the Undertaker.
Yeah, but The Rock and John Cena was face on face on paper.
Face on face on face.
Yeah. Well, no, that's different.
That reminds me of a Xavier Woods video, but.
Was it on Swerve?
No, We're winning!
Yeah, but... Mark my words, guys. He's going to fizzle out.
I think it's unfair to say after one.
Kevin Owens is not going to fizzle out.
Well, we've seen it before, so... I'm only just judging the past and applying it to now.
Yeah, but Imran, will you be saying that...
a couple of months ago with Rusev, who's been in limbo, so...
Will you be saying that when Kevin Owens is putting on 5-star matches with the likes of Cesaro?
Well, I don't doubt that at all, but what I'm saying is he's lost that whole momentum, and that was wrong of WWE.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. I'm upset because he's going to be another Dolph Ziggler.
Imran, how would you have booked it differently? So let's say, for example, I'm guessing you would have let Kevin Owens win. So Kevin Owens is now the US champion. Where does he go from there? He's the hottest heel in the company right now. Where does he go from there?
He faces people, I don't know, Randy Orton. I don't know, yeah.
So he faces Randy Orton, beats Randy Orton. Okay, so then what does he do there after that?
He faces everybody. He has the challenges. Hey, Adrian Neville, we would have loved to watch that.
As soon as Kevin Owens...
still do this.
If Kevin Owens captured the United States Championship, that title wouldn't mean as much as it means today.
Exactly. Because he's not earned it. He's not proven himself yet.
He hasn't proven himself. He hasn't proven
in the WWE. We're not counting independent scene as Kevin Steen.
No. He hasn't proven himself then.
Well, I mean, there are guys who have been there longer and done more who deserve to get the shot.
Exactly. But he still beat John Cena in his first ever match in WWE.
People will be envying Kevin Owens right now.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he doesn't care. He's getting paid.
He's taking care of his family as
exactly. His kid might like John Cena, but he beat John Cena. That's a shame. That's how he speaks. That's a shame.
Well, you know what, guys? Time will tell. So
let me ask one last question.
Please, viewers, do keep us to our words and refer back to this episode of the Main Event podcast.
One last, please do.
In 10 years, once we establish like how many titles he's won and things like that.
Oh,
Let me ask one last thing. Kevin Owens, will he be a big name at WrestleMania 32? Will he have a big match?
At WrestleMania 32?
Yeah.
Oh, he won't have a big match. He doesn't even have a big match at SummerSlam.
You can't see...
He's wrestling the night before on NXT.
No, it's because they just didn't want to put him on SummerSlam. That's why they've got him on NXT.
No, he's... What?
I mean, you've got a whole month.
He by far could wrestle back-to-back. He's done it before.
Yeah, but it's the idea of he shouldn't have to because he's in a title match at NXT. And putting him on a title match at SummerSlam.
He was in a title match on a major pay-per-view. He was in a title match again a couple of weeks later.
Yeah, but that's when
NXT?
NXT champion. I think that was slightly different. Because then he had the gimmick.
He's done it before, he could do it again.
So can't you see a Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens match at WrestleMania, which is what many are predicting?
No, not going to happen. Like you said, it's...
You're that adamant Kevin Owens is now a nobody.
No. I'm not saying he's a nobody. I'm just saying he's not.
You've basically said he's irrelevant and he's gonna fizzle out.
No, his momentum's totally gone. He's just gonna be part of the pack, just there in limbo like Dolph Ziggler's been in years since.
You can't. Not everyone can be a main eventer
straight away.
Not even that. Not everyone. There's only 2 spots in the main event.
No, but he could have been a major heel. That's my point.
He's a major heel.
Rusev is a major heel.
Stop.
Bray Wyatt's a major heel.
Well, now he's a major heel. What has he been doing since? Bray Wyatt, since now that they're correcting the course of wrong for Bray Wyatt.
Who did Bray Wyatt face at SummerSlam last year?
I don't even remember.
Razar, do you know?
Last year at SummerSlam?
Yeah. Just we'll stall for a second.
Exactly.
Imran, are you enjoying the weather?
Exactly. The second major pay-per-view of the
I'm still thinking. Who did Bray Wyatt face?
The second major pay-per-view.
Which matches did take place at SummerSlam? Remind me of that last year.
That was John Cena versus Daniel Bryan?
No, it was John Cena and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, John Cena and Brock Lesnar.
Who did he?
John Cena got destroyed. Do you remember that pay-per-view where John Cena got destroyed and then he lost all his momentum?
Oh, I know who Bray Wyatt faced, because that's where everyone was saying this is going to be the feud to watch. It was Jericho.
There you go.
Was it really?
Yes.
Is that not a huge feud?
He's got some big names under his belt.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Nobody... Yeah, even that feud.
Nobody remembers it.
That feud was awful.
We didn't even remember the main event of SummerSlam until we were reminded of it.
No, but it lasted a month, and even that was like, is it going to happen? Is it not? That was awful.
What?
Yeah, there was no storyline. Well, no major storyline. It should have been. Like, it was a great match. Don't get me wrong. I think
the fans didn't react the way WWE expected it to.
What's that? Sorry.
I think the fans didn't react the way WWE expected the
fans.
But
that's
because
nothing.
It
that's
was
not
booked
taking
completely
anything
wrong, and that's my point there. It was booked completely.
I don't think it was wrong. I thought it was a fantastic match.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm not talking about the match. I'm talking about the whole feud itself.
I enjoyed it.
Both superstars were. Because Jericho was actually having like some sort of subplot, some sub-feud at that time with a different superstar. And it just took everything out from their primary rivalry with Bray Wyatt. That was completely wrong.
Okay.
Who did Bray Wyatt face at Survivor Series?
No.
Do you remember?
No, if you could remind us this time.
Was it Dean Ambrose?
Let me just remember. Yeah, I think it was. There you go. So that Dean Ambrose was arguably the hottest face at the time as well.
Like, that was good. That was good. You do have to admit the way it ended on Raw.
Who did Bray Wyatt eliminate at the Royal Rumble? Do you guys remember? Was it Daniel Bryan, the hottest face in the company?
I'm on your side. I think Bray Wyatt's still the guy.
Please, let's not go on to the Royal Rumble and Daniel Bryan elimination. That was solely so he could get the heat again, correcting the course of where they went wrong. So again, proves my point that
it's not correcting the course at all. What we're trying to say is he doesn't just because he lost to John Cena doesn't mean that it makes a difference to his course. I think him beating Cena, I think he wouldn't have been in the main event.
Difference to his course.
I think losing to Cena is a good thing because then you've got a chance to improve.
Cena, you're never gonna be at that spot again, and that's what I mean.
Where do you go after beating John Cena?
But we just proved that he is at that spot. He faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He faced Dean Ambrose in one of the biggest...
Was he hottest heels at the time? Was he back at that status where he was the hot heel? He wasn't as hot.
I think Bray Wyatt was the hottest heel of WrestleMania.
No. That momentum, that build-up of that character...
I think Bray Wyatt was the
hottest
heel of Dean Ambrose Survivor Series feud as well. I think Bray Wyatt has been one of the hottest heels since.
They've always picked the pieces back up. They've never built him on, and they've never continued to run with him. And that's what's going to happen to Kevin Owens. They're never going to run with him. Never going to run with Dolph Ziggler. They're never going to run with Rusev. They're always going to have him, just have him there, I guess.
What's wrong with that?
It's not good.
Not everyone
can only have two people in the main event, Imran. You can only have two
people. How awesome did Rusev do? Was he or was he not?
He's still not main event caliber yet. And even if he beat Cena,
he's not main event caliber. What makes a superstar main event caliber?
I do think Rusev's promos are a bit weak.
There you go.
But he was with Lana at the time, so it worked off.
Yeah, but how long can this anti-American gimmick go on for?
But then that's another reason why Cena had to win that.
Exactly.
Because it's an anti-American gimmick. Look, what makes a main event superstar is exactly the problem with someone like Roman Reigns. He doesn't have that main event caliber yet, despite everything else, and that's an issue that WWE always has. So these superstars, these heels. Don't forget, these are heels that are losing to Cena. They're not faces that are losing to Cena. These heels that are losing to Cena aren't main event caliber yet. Kevin Owens is not ready to main event a pay-per-view yet.
Basically, like a movie, the bad guy loses.
No, he's not. Could you see Kevin Owens main eventing a pay-per-view?
I could see him as one of the main events.
The marks.
No, that's not.
I can't see him as WWE champion.
As the main event, Kevin Owens versus Rusev.
No, that's not my point. I'm not saying he's going to be the number one guy. I'm not saying that.
So then him losing to Cena doesn't affect him.
It does. It has affected him because you just said he's going to be part of the mid card.
There's not a mid card. There's not a defined mid card anymore. There's an upper mid card.
What did Rosa mean by saying he's going to be part of the mid card?
Upper mid card. That's what I'm going with.
Then again, I did say he's on the level with Cesaro and Ziggler,
which is not a bad level to be on.
I did say if you listen back, I did say he's in between the mid and main.
Yeah, and he's always going to climb and go low. That's my point.
He's going to climb,
especially at this time where we need more main eventers.
Don't forget,
this was one way to solidify a main eventer.
Do you really need more main eventers? You've got guys like Orton just floating around doing absolutely nothing.
We have loads of main eventers.
No, Orton's time is about to expire. This is a time to freshen things up. Kevin Owens was that breath of fresh air.
And he beat Cena in his first match.
He has got a lot of time to change it.
My point is, what is he going to do now? He's going to face
Cesaro.
If you're looking at what's happened already in WWE and learn from history itself is telling us that guys like Bray Wyatt will always never recover, never be at that spot they once were.
I'm going to stop you there, man. I respect both points of view. I agree with one. I don't agree as much with the other. Please let us know what you think.
Hey, Imran, it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay that you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Guys, settle down.
That have helped me. Your points have helped me. So.
Let us know what you think of the whole Kevin Owens situation and his supposed demotion to the upper or the lower main event picture, just so Imran doesn't attack me. Let's move on now. Final point, the main event of the main event podcast. The Undertaker's return. What did you make of that Battleground? Well, actually, 1 minute. Let me ask Imran first, then I'll move on to
Irish. I saw it coming, basically. I honestly had it written down on a piece of paper because I was so absolutely... I just knew it was coming. It was just so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But what did it play out well?
Put it
this way.
His hairstyle played out well this time.
He looked okay.
Like they got the pop that WWE wanted. Like it was nice seeing the Undertaker as always. Was it surprising? Not really.
Now, okay, let me move on to Arif. The Undertaker. What a shocking, surprising return that you couldn't see coming in a million years. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, funny you say that because I mean, there I was. Obviously, we're in the UK. We're UK based, as Imran and Raza will attest to, and obviously being UK based, it's difficult for us to watch pay-per-views at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. So I choose to watch them the day after on the WWE Network. Now I'm very, very conscious of spoilers, as you guys both know.
Of course.
And I always regularly ask you not to spoil stuff for me, which you duly oblige to do, and I appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely.
So on the day, on the Monday, I popped myself onto my laptop, conscious, again, not to spoil anything, and I realized if I Google WWE Network, it may come up with any spoilers, so I go straight to the WWE Network website, at wwenetwork.com, go to there, and to my horror, a SummerSlam advert comes up, and it's got The Undertaker on it. So from that moment, I knew that he must be returning. And I think that's the problem with it, because as Imran said, there were rumours about it previously, and I think Imran knew, and I think we both knew that it was probably going to happen, but I would rather have been surprised. So, yes, that was my main chagrin about it. And let's look at the positives. So let's look at the positives of the situation. Seth Rollins didn't lose his title, which I think is a great positive. He looked strong at moments. He looked stronger than Cena did last year at SummerSlam, I think. In his match with Brock Lesnar, and The Undertaker basically destroyed Brock with a couple of tombstones and made Brock look weak is the wrong word because it gives that connotation of oh, you're looking weak in the ring and stuff, but weaker than he's looked in the sense of he didn't look like he could defeat The Undertaker at that moment. I think that was really, really integral to this feud. I think this is the way now that you bring The Undertaker back and you make it so it's not Streak versus the Beast, it's more the Beast versus the Dead Man, and the Dead Man is out for revenge.
What did you make of
like
the heel tactic he used, or the low blow, which a lot of people have been talking about?
I don't think anything's going to be made of it.
Nothing?
I think The Undertaker's too popular to be heel.
The heel.
Yeah. Like here's the thing, like both superstars are popular. Like
Imran,
even
I
if
was
it's
so
face
annoyed.
versus face. What?
I was so annoyed.
You were?
I was so annoyed when the advert came up. I was so annoyed.
It's understandable, isn't it? You would be if you've done so much to avoid spoilers to have it ruined by the WWE themselves.
But I mean, if WWE is going to advertise any pay-per-view, then it's going to be on the network.
It's frustrating, though. I didn't realise they'd do it the day after.
Did they actually, on the actual advert, did they say that he, like, returned in the main event of Battleground?
Fair, didn't, but it's the fact that he was there alongside all of the superstars that you'd want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you make of the brawl, quickly, on Monday Night Raw?
I loved it. I would have ended the show on it because
Agreed, definitely. I think having it in the middle kind of took away from the last hour of the show.
Yeah. I love the fact that they started brawling backstage as well. Like that to me, like.
And you had R-Truth calming down Brock Lesnar. Is R-Truth like his best friend?
Oh yeah, I love that. I actually did love that. Actually, like
Brock
sounded great.
Brock, you calm down, man.
And that's
now,
the truth.
We've got our first match announced for SummerSlam, which is Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar.
It's the main event.
Event, exactly. I want to ask. Obviously, that's going to be a big selling point of SummerSlam. It's going to make, WWE are going to get people to subscribe to the WWE Network for that match alone. Obviously, if they want to make this the biggest SummerSlam in recent years, they're going to have to put on a number of good matches. I want to ask, which matches do you think will take place at SummerSlam to join The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar?
Well, I'll go to
Imran first then, fine. Eager. I'll go to Imran first.
Coming out of Raw, it does look like the WWE champion is going to be facing the United States champion. I don't want it to be for title, but
What can they do with that though? So you mean it'll be for the WWE title?
I do think.
Well, no. As in, I really don't want it for the title. I don't want anybody holding the United States with the WWE title.
Oh yeah.
But there is always a chance that Seth Rollins, being the heel he is, could cost Cena in an open challenge where he defends the United States Championship. But that does make Cena look a bit, I wouldn't say weaker, because Cena's never weak, but it makes him look beatable, whereas he needs to be built up as a challenger who is a serious threat to Rollins.
Yeah, and
at the same time, you want to see a United States Championship match at SummerSlam, and John Cena, I don't think can pull double duty. 2 good matches on the night anyway.
Mm-hmm. So my predictions for these matches, you can either have 2. So you're gonna have a US title #1 contender match, in my opinion. So you've got Kevin Owens versus Cesaro.
I agree with Kevin Owens and Cesaro. I think that's gonna happen.
And then you've obviously got the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match with Seth Rollins versus John Cena. And I think if Kevin Owens wins the Kevin Owens Cesaro match, then he can then potentially cost Cena the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep.
And you just have that filler feud for the one. Or alternatively, you have the John Cena Kevin Owens Cesaro triple threat for US title match, which I think would be amazing. I really want to see that. But then I guess that puts the WWE World Heavyweight title in limbo, and the only person I can think of facing Seth Rollins at this time is Kane, Demon Kane, which should be an absolute waste.
Let me just ask one thing. Do we agree that Seth Rollins will take on John Cena? I think that's pretty much.
I don't want him to, because if Cena had lost the US title, then potentially. But because he's got the title, it doesn't make sense for him to go for another title.
But do you think there is something we're missing out? Do you think Cena could win to obviously start Rollins and Kane feud without the title? But that means there is a certain guy with a briefcase backstage.
See, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, no.
I think the way that WWE's recently played out these long-lasting feuds and it makes perfect sense, because they've built Seth Rollins as the undeserving champion and John Cena's the deserving champion. That's what they're playing off right now. The deserving champion versus the undeserving champion.
So could you see, can you see Cena win the title, so have both titles for a few minutes at least, and then have Sheamus? Not whether you want it to happen. That's different.
I don't think anybody should be doing that, but if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be John Cena.
Yeah, and I think they do have a lot of faith in Sheamus, so he's going to be. I think he's guaranteed to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He's not going to be the third failure.
Too many lies.
There's another match. One I think will happen. It's interesting because it's going to be a tag team or 6-man tag. The Wyatt family. Everyone's saying, Luke Harper's reunited with Bray Wyatt. Can we see Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper taking on Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, or will we see a new member of the Wyatt family added to take on a team of Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and potentially Sting, who is being advertised?
Addition to that match has got to be Bo Dallas, because of his previous feud with Sting.
Well, I've actually got 2 other names.
Oh,
okay.
And they form the Ascension.
That would actually be really cool. Have the Ascension as the new followers to Bray Wyatt's little flock.
Yeah, they fit perfectly. They're both very. They've got that presence about them as well. So why not?
I think they need the help of Bray Wyatt as well, to be honest.
They're mid-carders, if anyone. No, they're lower carders.
Can we see
jobbers right now?
Do we see Sting involved in the match?
Yes.
Arif?
I don't know where the Sting insertion could come from,
exactly.
but apparently that's what's being touted. So tout. Yeah, so I see it happening possibly.
Divas. There's a number of ways this could go: singles, tags, 3-way tags. Which one are we going with?
I'm going to go with 3-way tag with this.
So 9 divas in one match?
Yeah, I think it's the best way to get across the entire Divas Revolution thing. And then potentially you could have breakaway teams with for Survivor Series with a 5-on-5, and you get like Naomi and Tamina joining Team Bella, Sasha Banks joining Team Paige, and potentially even Bayley joining Team Paige. That's, again, there's no basis
or Natalya. You could always have Natalya in there. That would work perfectly.
I don't see Natalya returning just yet because of the Tyson Kidd thing.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I don't think she's involved in this at the moment.
Yeah, as in it doesn't have to be full time. You could just do a sting and just be like popping up here and there. So
Intercontinental Championship, will Ryback be fit? If so,
Triple threat.
do you think they'll go with the triple
It's
threat?
a triple threat we don't want to see, but hopefully Miz will win that. So
hopefully, yeah. Like here's the thing. I wasn't huge on Miz until Tough Talk, where now I'm just like, he's a genius.
Yeah, he really is.
I don't, and it's come to a point where I really don't care if people shoot me down for thinking Miz is awesome, but he actually is.
He's awesome on the mic. He's not the best wrestler, but he is awesome on the mic. There's no one
he's just so entertaining. Yeah,
I think only a handful of people, not even that, could have pulled off the work he's doing with the gimmick.
with the gimmick of Tough Enough.
No. I mean his current movie star Hollywood gimmick.
All right, yeah.
But even, do you know what though? Even on Tough Talk, he seems like the only one that genuinely cares.
Yeah.
I think he's a better host of Tough Talk than Jericho is of Tough Enough.
But then Jericho doesn't get the free reign that don't forget, Tough Enough is a USA show, whereas Tough Talk is a WWE Network show, so they have a lot more freedom on WWE Network.
Look, here's the thing. I actually really want him to replace Paige, Daniel Bryan, and Hulk Hogan right now.
But then if that had happened, then Patrick would have won the show. Which he hasn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
WWE Tag Team Championships, primetime players defending against one team, two teams.
It's the New Day. Yes, it is.
It's got to be, hasn't it? I agree with that.
Main Event Podcast. Don't be sour. Clap for your new WWE champions and feel the power. That was my big.
As good as champions of primetime players are, I think the New Day are the hottest tag team around right now. 3-man tag. Have to be. So I'll be agreeing with that. It's going to be a one-on-one tag team match.
I think giving the titles to the primetime players was a mistake. So
could the New Day get him back?
Yeah. Why not?
They're going to get him back. They're getting him back at SummerSlam.
Yeah. And me personally, I think we're going to have one more match, and I think it should happen. Do we think it can happen? Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev.
Yeah, that is going to happen. I mean, like since WrestleMania, that's what they've been building to. I think, I think Dolph Ziggler should be back at that time as well. So I think he's filming a movie. Am I?
Yeah.
No, he got injured. He can't speak.
They're the matches I have. Just very quickly, I want to ask Gareth, I think you had a few more matches you wanted to add.
So I predict that we're going to see Sheamus versus Orton for the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh, this is like match number 3604.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this time Sheamus will win because he's the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. And then also I predict Stardust versus Neville with Stephen Amell.
Ooh.
I don't think we'll get a Stephen Amell Stardust directly. I think we'll get Stardust versus Neville because that was a really, really cool. Also, really quickly, do you guys feel like they're kind of dropping the ball on Neville a bit? I know we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks.
I think the reason for that might just be because there's no Stardust.
Yeah.
So as soon as Stardust is back, that's where they're going to be promoting both of them.
He returned this week or last week?
I think it was last week when he faced, or 2 weeks when he faced Stardust.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But with Stephen Amell in there as well, I don't think we'll get a direct Stephen Amell Stardust match.
I think you can see Stephen Amell taking him out though at the end.
Yeah.
Yes, that will finally happen.
Ronda
Jumping
Rousey
down as the arrow.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of Ronda Rousey, I think we'll get Ronda Rousey versus CM Punk.
No, okay. Imran, any other matches that we haven't mentioned that you think will take place at SummerSlam just quickly before we finish?
Like right now, if it was up to me, I would have El versus El Rio take on John Morrison.
Okay, so that's not going to happen.
Like that's what I'm looking forward to at the greatest show on earth, Lucha Underground. It's actually happening at Lucha.
At the Lucha Temple.
Yeah.
Dario.
Ultimate Lucha. That's what it's called. Ultimate Lucha.
Ultimate Lucha.
So, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that, guys.
Okay, but SummerSlam. What do you think? Any other matches?
Oh, SummerSlam. No, that's all. Just all the matches that are happening at Ultimate Lucha, I'll have them at SummerSlam, to be honest. But
okay, interesting. Guys, please let us know what you think, or which match you think will take place at SummerSlam, as well as your predictions for some matches that will be announced. Guys, that's all we have time for on our returning episode.
Yep, and it was great as always to be back as the guest host of Main Event Podcast.
The guest host with no power. Please leave a comment down below, like, thumbs up, all that stuff. Download and recommend us to all your fellow WWE friends as well. Thank you for listening. And
WWE friends.
WWE, you know what I mean. Don't do this. You know what I mean. Don't.
You know, if you're friends with John Cena, or Seth Rollins. Or Cesaro.
Your friends who follow WWE, let's go with that.
Please let them know as well. Really quickly, just like talk about Cesaro's mic work. It's pretty terrible.
It's perfect time to
in between these 4 ropes.
Actually, saying that, I'm not going to say which superstars, but we've had a few superstars on our messages we've had on the podcasts and stuff. So we can say they're our friends.
Maybe. Guys, thank you for joining me today.
I want to be friends with Sasha Banks.
And I will see you again next week. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week on the Main Event Podcast.